Hi, this is Willie, and thanks again for watching another one of my beginner videos. Today I want to share with you another unique FPV quad, but before I get into it, I want to give a thanks to LiveTech.com for providing the model for me. It's also a great source for you to purchase the model. Now, as I usually say, let's just dive into the video and take a look at the JXD 509G FPV Quadcopter. What's in the box? Well, besides getting what looks like a Star Wars type quadcopter, just about anything and everything you need for a quadcopter is included in the box. It even has a micro flash card for you, so you don't have to go out and purchase that. In fact, the only thing that you really need to purchase in order to get into the air is a set of AA batteries. You'll need about 4 of those for the transmitter. Other than that, you've got parts galore and a great quadcopter to start your FPV training with. Now, the 509G has a ton of features that you can get involved in, and I would like to go into each and every one of those, but what I'll do is I'll list them for you first, and then as I produce the video, I will show you some of those features. Now, because the transmitter controls many of the features on the quadcopter, I do want to point out several things about it. On the left hand side, you have 3 buttons: the return button, a button for the lights, and also the stop and start. On the right hand side, you have the headless mode and 2 buttons for photography. On the top left, there's a speed button. You push that a couple of times to change the speed, and then on the right hand side there is a button to do flips, and then you also have the trim tabs, which are normal for a transmitter. And there's one very special feature that I do want to mention about the quadcopter, and that is it has altitude hold, and that's a great feature for this quadcopter. Now, the other features that are not mentioned in the specification is that the propeller blades are really very flexible, so you don't have to worry about them breaking in a crash. And the other thing is that the feet have this little soft cushion on it that allows the quad to bounce back on bad landings. So I'm showing you how flexible those legs are. I've also done a drop test with the quad, and it virtually just springs back up like a kangaroo. So these are 2 really great features that I enjoyed about the quadcopter. Now, every model could use some modifications, and there are about 5 that I did on this particular model. The first one is that I painted the tips of the blades and the front of the frame and the front legs. When you're doing line of sight flying, it's always good to have a little bit of reference when the model is facing you. And on the props, because they spin so fast and they're black, I just thought the addition of adding orange to the tips would make them a little bit more easy to see. The next thing that I did was to modify the camera tilt so that it could tilt up a little bit higher instead of actually photographing the ground when it's in flight. And this was done very easily with an X-Acto knife and just simply cutting out a little small section on the back of the camera. The next modification I did was, because the camera has a little bit of a jelly effect to it, you get that little rolling effect, I decided to add some foam between the base of the camera and the frame of the quad, as well as behind the head of the quad, hopefully to kind of dampen some of that vibration. And the fourth thing that I did was to upgrade the flight battery. Now I'm showing you a couple of batteries that I used, and the compartment that the batteries go in can take really large size batteries. So these are two that I used as a flight test. And the final thing is, because the batteries are a little bit difficult to get out of that compartment, I suggest that you add a tab to the front of it so that it's a little bit easier to retrieve. Flying the 509G is really just as simple as flying any other quad. However, there are a couple of features that I want to point out to you because they're very important as far as being able to recover the quad while it's in flight. The first thing that I want to share with you is how to initialize the quad. It's a little bit different than most. Basically what you have to do is start the battery up in the quad itself, turn the switch on, and then next you have to initialize the quad by moving the left throttle stick up and down, and then on the transmitter you have to push the start button. The next feature that I want to talk about is the emergency stop. And basically, if the quad is getting away from you and you feel like you're not going to be able to recover, basically all you have to do is push both sticks into the far left and far right hand corner, and the quad will fall out of the sky. And the next feature that I want to talk about is how to work altitude hold. This quad has a very excellent altitude hold. In fact, it is too good. And what I discovered is, in order to get the quad down, basically I just use a back and forth on the elevator and at the same time reducing the throttle, and that will give this sort of a seesaw effect, but it will bring the quad down for you a whole lot quicker than just reducing the throttle, because that just doesn't work. Okay, that does it for this review. I hope that you've also found the 509G to be just as interesting as I have. So make sure you check out the resource slide at the end of this video, and don't forget to click on the link that's located in the description. Thanks, and don't forget to like the video and to subscribe to my channel.